Hello. Today a short video on some recipes I personally used a lot during my last 2 years of lifting to get enough protein, for example, while actually enjoying eating to some extent. Most of the time I actually eat like a soldier pretty much, with not much concern for taste or things like that, but I came to enjoy some recipes that I want to present to you today. But without further ado, let's dig into it. Well, the first recipe I find especially good, that I first tried in a small Asian restaurant near my bouldering gym, is the Tom Yam Gai soup, or Tom Kha Gai. It depends on what kind of meat you want to put into it. All the recipes I present here today are with a list of ingredients, a list of nutrients, and some variations for cutting, maintaining, and bulking, as well as a preparation guide. And this one here is quite interesting, as you have very low calories and a very high satiation effect. And the soup is incredibly tasty and spicy due to the Tom Yam Gai paste. All you need is pretty much 1 onion, 2 carrots, 2 cloves of garlic, 200 grams of chicken breast or some shrimps if you like as a variation, and 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. You pretty much just chop the vegetables, heat the sesame oil in a big pan or wok until it's very hot to stir fry things into it. Then fry the chicken with salt and pepper. Add the vegetables in bunches according to their time they need cooking. First, for example, the carrot and the onions, and then the shrimp, since they do not take as long. Then you add a teaspoon of sambal oleg and soy sauce. Then add the Tom Yam Gai paste that has been dissolved in water, and boil the whole stuff for 2 minutes, and the soup is served. It doesn't take very long. It only has about 600 kilocalories, and it's pretty much one of the perfect foods for cutting. I use it all the time when I cut. I really enjoy it, and it's really satiating and has a pretty good macronutrient distribution. The next recipe I want to present is a tuna pizza wrap, or a pizza wrap in general. A pizza wrap is just you take a wrap and use it as a baseline for a pizza. You can pretty much put everything you like onto it, but I choose tuna, as tuna is pretty indigestible if you eat it raw from a can, and it has a great macronutrient distribution. The recipe I present here is for 2 wraps, not just for 1. You pretty much take whatever you like and put it on it, as long as it has pretty much no calories, and chop the vegetables. Toast the wraps for about 5 minutes in the oven until they are a little bit warm and somewhat crispy. Then you add the sauce and the toppings, and the tuna, the shrooms, the cheese, the jalapenos, whatever you like, and then you fully toast it until they are slightly brown. If you do not pre-toast it, they get all wobbly and disgusting. So toast it to your liking, and you can pretty much put everything onto it as you wish. The next thing I also eat on a diet are burgers, and for those I buy low-fat ground beef, as regular ground beef, at least in Germany, is pretty much more than half fat, and you don't want to eat that pretty much. For the recipe to work, you chop up an onion and a pickle into thin slices, mince garlic and mix it with the meat, and then you form 4 patties and season them with salt and pepper from both sides. Toast 2 English muffins and fry the patties 2 times for 2 minutes on each side. Then you put cheese on top of the patties and assemble the burger and enjoy it. It's a lot of protein, and for only 1000 kilocalories it's a perfect food for cutting pretty much. Then we have the classic chili con carne, as it's called in Germany, and I like to eat it with pasta. This meal is not as well suited for cutting, but I still sometimes eat it on a cut, as it's very satiating. I usually prepare this meal with twice the portion size presented here, but for some people that's too much. I also eat it 2 days in a row. I chop the onion and the garlic, fry the beef until it's brown on high heat. You really want to brown it a bit. Then you add minced garlic, the pepper and the onions, and maybe the salt. Add soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of sambal oleg, and then all the other ingredients. Half a cup of water, tomatoes, the corn and the beans, and then you taste it with salt and vegetable broth until it's to your liking. Then you just cook it for a long time, and near the end you add the pasta to a separate pot, cook that, and enjoy it in the end. If you are maintaining or bulking, you can add as much of any ingredient as you like, and maybe even some parts of dark chocolate, which are surprisingly good for chili con carne. Then we have my all-time favorite, and that's just skyr. It's an Icelandic yogurt that you can prepare pretty much any way you like. You can also make things like tzatziki out of it. But I want to eat it more in a dessert style fashion. First you take 500 grams of skyr and add it to a bowl. Then you add 1 spoon of flavored protein powder of your choice and mix it well with berries. Sometimes you want to mix in some extra ingredients like oat or almonds or something like that. And then you mix it very well, add honey on top without mixing, and then you enjoy it. The macronutrient distribution is insanely good. You get about 75 to 80 grams of protein for 500 kilocalories. And it's very satiating. I can only recommend this food. It's not even that expensive. It's maybe €1 for a whole meal. And you get half of your daily protein requirements from it if you are a somewhat average human being. Then we have a very lazy food that I also enjoy a lot, and it's breaded fish sticks, in my case with samba oleg. I use the samba oleg for the seasoning, as it's very low in calories and very intense in taste, and I like the very spicy, taste of samba oleg. And all you have to do for this one is put fish sticks into the oven, toast them for 27 minutes without preheating, or a little shorter with preheating, and then add samba oleg to the plate and just eat it as you wish. Also a pretty decent macronutrient distribution, lots of protein, some fat and some carbs. With your oven you obviously have to find out the perfect times yourself. Then we have a classical European dish, and it's goulash, and I like to eat it with either pasta, potatoes or croquettes. I think the croquettes are more of a German style thing, and this one takes quite some time to prepare, so I would maybe double all the ingredients and prepare it for 2 days. And what you do is pretty much chop all the vegetables and the meat, season it with salt and pepper, and then seriously darken and char the meat a bit, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's the way it tastes the best from all sides. Then you add and caramelize the diced onion and the garlic, and add the shrooms a little bit later. And then before you add any fluid, you add tomato paste and grill the whole thing for about 5 minutes. Then you add vegetable stock and all the other content and cook it for a really long time. And closely before the cooking process is finished, you add the croquettes, for example, to the oven and toast them until they are golden brown and tasty. If you're on maintenance or on bulk, you can add heavy cream to the meal, which also makes it a little bit better. Or more croquettes, or a fattier cut of meat if you want to have more calories. Also a pretty good macronutrient distribution, lots of protein, some fat and lots of carbs, and it's very satiating if you like that. Then we have wraps with chili, and this recipe is kinda cheap, but I enjoy the variety a lot. It's pretty much the same as before. You cook a chili, but use less water. So it's a more of a paste style of chili than a more, watery fluid style of chili. And you pretty much use the same kind of beef, add chili according to the recipe, but no extra water, and then you have salad. And slightly toast some wraps, add salad to the wraps that you have already prepared, and add chili on top. Then you fold the thing and, close it in a watertight manner so you can enjoy it. This one here is for, I think it's 4 wraps, but most packages in Germany come with 6 wraps. It has very good macronutrient distribution, but it's not so well suited for cutting. But it's very satiating and very tasty, and I enjoy it a lot. You can obviously assemble the wraps with all the kinds of toppings you like avocado or things like that. Pretty much up to taste. You can modify all the recipes I presented here in any way you like. Then we have a rather healthy choice of food. It's fried beans with garlic that I enjoy a lot. you take as much frozen green beans as you like, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil, and as much garlic as you like. I put 2 cloves of garlic here, but I use a lot more. And the macronutrients are not so good when it comes to protein, but it's vegetables that taste good, and you have to eat some vegetables if you want to be healthy. And for the preparation process, you just add frozen beans to an oiled pan, add chili flakes, pepper and salt, fry them until they are unfrozen on rather low heat, then add the minced garlic, and then fry on higher heat till they are slightly brown and soft. You can add as much as you like to it, but it's really not a bulking food. You can eat it for maintenance, but that's pretty much it. And the last recipe is a rather German one, and it's just a Döner, kebab, dürüm, or whatever you want to call it. You can get it pretty much everywhere in Germany. It is a fast food that I enjoy a lot. The ingredients are surprisingly healthy for a fast food if you get a good Döner salesman. The quality of the meat is obviously what decides the quality of the whole product here. You can buy it at a local kebab store. You should ask for extra salad on a diet, so it's more satiating without having a lot more calories, and you should choose the hot sauce, since it has the lowest calorie content. And if you want a little bit more overall, a nice trick is to ask for mixed meat, chicken and beef. In that case you get slightly more in total, at least in my experience. And this one is really tasty. When I have a lazy period in my life, I eat this kind of meal a lot, since I have a pretty high quality Döner salesman in my vicinity. Okay, and those are the 10 spicy protein recipes I wanted to present to you today. You can use lots of variations for all of them, and let's now come to a short summary. So, what are the takeaway points? First of all, there are lots of expensive cookbooks for lifters out there that often just promote slight variations for the same meals. For example, you can assemble the wraps I presented with 10 different kinds of meats, and the pretty much the pizza also in 10 different variations, the burger in 10 different variations. So it's all pretty clear. But in essence, it's more or less 10 to 20 recipes that are always repeated over and over again, and I wanted to summarize them for you in this short video. You don't have to add protein powder to everything to actually enjoy it. None of those meals actually has a lot of extra protein powder. Nonetheless, they have all the protein you need if you assemble them in the correct way, and you can get a good amount of variety with a high protein content. And I mainly focused on non-classic meals that aren't presented too often to present to you some novelty, since many people actually eat for enjoyment and not too much for the content of the food. And feel free to adapt the recipes to your liking. I personally need some variation, but not too much, but 10 recipes are usually enough for me. Okay. And that's pretty much it for today. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed some of the recipes, feel free to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you feel like I missed something or misrepresented something, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I will comment on it and maybe correct the video. But until then, I wish you a pleasant day and goodbye.